What's up, everybody? It's Frederick Douglass Bussey back with another episode of the whiteboard session. Today, we're going to be talking about why it's so hard to scale your business, what you can do to create quantum leaps in your business to go from six-figure years to six-figure months. And if you're doing $5, $10, $20,000 a month, what you can do to do that in a day and a week and to be able to really scale your business. Let's go to work. Oh no. First of all, wherever you're watching this on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, make sure you drop a comment below. Let me know where you're watching it from, what platform, what part, what city, what state, what country, wherever you are. Shoot me a holler. Let me know where you're watching. Make sure we can support you. If you have a comment, a question, drop that in the comments below as well. I want to make sure that we are tapped in with you wherever you're at. And give us a like, a share, a comment so that other people can check out this great content. Hopefully it's been valuable for you in the past and it continues to be valuable, and it will be valuable for you today. All right. That being said, I want to start with a number, right? And the number is this, right? 6. The number 6. Well, it's very, very faint. Let's see. There, 6. That is the percentage of business owners that ever make more than 6 figures in their business. It was a study that was done by the Kauffman Foundation. I said only 6% of entrepreneurs ever achieve a 6-figure business success. Only 2% ever achieve 7-figure business success. And more than 50% of all business owners never exceed more than $25,000 a year. Incredible. And so many people are kind of stuck on this idea about being able to make 7 figures, being able to make 6 figures, and that can be an ideal for them. And yet it's extremely rare. 6% of people ever hit that mark. And so today I want to talk about one of the real reasons why it's such a challenge to be able to do that. And it's because there is a difference between growing and scaling. All right, my C is crooked. There's a difference between growing and scaling. And until you understand the difference and fundamentally what you have to be at mentally as an entrepreneur, you're not going to be able to do that. $25,000 a month is literally around $2,000 a year, $2,000 a month. $25,000 a year is about $2,000 a month, which 50% of business owners never even hit more than that, more than $2,000 a month, right? And if you're going to hit 10 figures, $10,000 a month or more, which is 6-figure mark, right? That is something that is extremely rare. Only 6% of owners ever make more than $10,000 a month. That's incredible. And here's the other thing, right? And I've talked about this in other videos. The difference between 100K and 1 million, right, is a wide margin, because 200,000 is twice as much, but 1 million is 10 times as much as 100,000, right? But let's say that you actually hit the 250K. 250K is 10 times what 50% of business owners will ever hit. $25,000 a year, and 250K is 10 times that. So why is it such a challenge to make this much money when you have so many people that are starting businesses every year? You have so many people that are trying and working so hard to be able to create more freedom, more impact, a greater legacy for themselves. They have these dreams, and yet they're not able to do it. And so even if you are in the income bracket where you're making 10, 20,000, 50,000, you realize like the fact that to be able to hit 7 figures, only about 2% of business owners ever hit that mark. And to be able to do that puts you in such rare air that, and keep in mind, we have more millionaires than we've ever had before, and yet still only about 2% people do it. So what's the difference? Why is it that people don't ever hit even this mark here, much less ever get to 250, much less get here, right? So remember, we're talking about 6% of people hit here and the numbers decrease. You only get about 2% of people that ever get here. All right, here's why. The difference between growing and scaling. I like to try to make things as simple as possible, all right? The difference between growing and scaling is really the difference between addition and multiplication. Addition versus multiplication. And I want to make it really, really simple for you so you can understand where we're coming from, right? So let's say, let's start with this right here, right? 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? Now it seems like, wait, well, 2 times 2 equals 4, right? So how can that be different? Why are we saying that multiplication is equal to scaling and addition is equal to growing? Well, let's see what happens when we start to extract that, right? 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. But 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. So once you start taking the next extra step, right? Let's for instance say that you are doing the one customer. Let's say this 2 represents $200 for your product. 2, 2, 2, like, you got $600. So how can 2 times 2 times 2 equal 8, right? We're going to take it a step further. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8, all right? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 equals 16. And so forth and so on. So already in 4 steps, you've gotten an 8 here, but in 4 steps, you've gotten a 16 here. You already doubled that. And every time you add another step in the sequence, you continue to expand the difference and the gap. And so if you're able to do that time and time again, what is that able to do for your business? It means that for every system, every step that you put in the process, you're able to add exponential growth. And that's really the real key. The real key is that we want to go, instead of being linear, we want to be exponential. And most people never get beyond the ability to be linear. Because if you are stuck in a certain mindset, if you are stuck in a certain perspective, and you're stuck in a certain process of creating business growth, then you can never become exponential. You can never move beyond yourself. And so understanding how you can do that is a really, really important thing. I want to illustrate it in one other way to really make this make sense, right? So let's talk about it here, right? So we've got 2. Let's say we got 2, 1, 1. 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? And 2 times 2 equals 4. But now what we're doing is when we add another 2 boxes, right? That equals 6. But when we go over here, 2 times 2 times 2, right? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, visually you start to understand how it is multiplying, right? So we add 2 plus 2 plus 2. We're going to add 2 more. I'll put it on this side, right? Now we've got 8, right? But here we've got 2 times 2 times 2. And now you can start to see visually what's happening. Now it doesn't seem, even now it may seem like, well, it's just longer, right? We're just adding more rows. I'm adding 2 more here, right? And so I'm adding 2 customers every month, great. But what if I want to multiply that? If I'm multiplying it, now what I'm doing, I'm creating an exponential growth pattern. And so I add 2 more here, but I'm multiplying it by 2 again. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And if this represents your business, Which business would you rather have, right? Because you're still adding one step, one additional step. What's going on? If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you let StreamYard say your name so I can see who you are, because I can't watch the comment and know your names. I want to call you by names when I do that, right? But answer the question, which business would you rather have? Because here's the other thing. If at any point you get blocked from being able to add more to your business on either end, right? If it's just you, if it's just one system, if it's just one process, whatever the case may be, but you only have the one way of doing things and you're blocked at any point, you can't grow anymore, right? But this is a business that's solid because it's got multiple ways to be able to grow. And again, if I add two more, right? Let's say I fix the problem, I get lucky, I have a great month, maybe I add four more, right? I go 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4, right? Great. I've added a string. But if I multiply that by 4, right? Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at 32, right? So now, if I multiply that by 4, 32 times 4 is 128. So I've added 4 here, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 versus 128. It's multiplication versus addition. And that's literally how you scale. You're talking about businesses that do $1 billion a day, $1 million a day. And then you're comparing it to companies or businesses where people start and they never make more than $25,000 a year, or they never make more than 6 figures a year. And on the low end of 6 figures, right? Because if you're doing 250K and you double that, you're at $500,000 a year. And $500,000 a year could really allow you to do a lot more things. And then you can start to see your way to $1 million. And everybody wants to be a millionaire. Everybody wants to hit that $1 million mark. But is that extremely rare? 2% of businesses ever hit that mark. So what does it take for you to be able to have that? The level of support, the level of perspective. Because if most people aren't doing it, how are you going to separate yourself from all the other people that are? And one thing I've understood in working with these entrepreneurs and interviewing them on my podcast, in dealing with them in masterminds and things of that nature, is that it's not that they're smarter than you, right? It's not that because I coach people or I consult with these companies that I'm smarter than you, but it's simply a shift in perspective. When you shift that perspective, things start to make sense. And so where you ask yourself is, am I doing addition? Am I thinking linearly? Or am I doing multiplication? Am I thinking exponentially, right? Because the other aspect of multiplication is when you start doing the exponential times exponential, right? Then you're talking about, I'm not just multiplying two numbers, I'm multiplying times to the second, third, fourth, and fifth power. How do you do that? That's through systems and scales. We talk about this in the scalosity model, right? So we're talking about leverage. How do I create more leverage to create more power with less effort so that I can, in one step, be able to take a quantum leap in my business and be able to do things that seemed utterly impossible before. It seemed like it was really, really impossible. Right. You'd rather have the business on the right. Well, my left, but you're right. And so if that's what you want, then how can you start to shift your perspective? I encourage those of you who are going through this process of growing your business, if you would like support in this, reach out to us. Let's have a conversation to see if it's a good fit for us to be able to support you in what you're doing, to be able to create this business here, right? And not this one. Because this one, I can tell you from experience, is extremely hard. It feels like you're lugging a car uphill with your bare hands. And everything is so tedious. Everything is such a grind. And one of the things the real reason I do this is because when I see people doing things and it's so hard, I get frustrated because it doesn't have to be that hard. And the belief that things have to be hard is one of the key things that holds us back from being able to accomplish everything we want. All right, so that's it. That's today's whiteboard session. I wanted to visually explain for you the difference between growing and scaling, why it's such a challenge, and why most people are not able to scale simply because they lack the perspective on what it is that they're really doing, right? And when we start out, yes, you can often start out things small, but if you understand how to do the math, right? How to do the arithmetic to get the right formula. We're not adding plus signs, we're adding multiplication signs. And if you're doing that, you're going to see exponential quantum leaps in your business. You're going to see exponential results. It's going to change your life and change what you're doing. Let me know in the comments below if that has been valuable for you. What have you been discovering from this conversation? What are the questions that you would ask yourself? What is the shift that you need to make in your business? And most of all, shoot me a comment, drop a DM, and let me know how we can support you. If that seems like something that you really want to do. Do you want to be one of the 6%, one of the 2%, one of the 1%? Or do you want to be like the 94% of people that really struggle? Do you want to be in that 50% of businesses that are continuously trying to figure out how they can make more than $2,000 a month, more than $25,000 a year? And the choice is really yours. And it's up to you. If you are happy where you are, cool, stay where you are. But if you really want to be able to make that shift, then I ask you to maybe consider reaching out and getting some support. That being said, a couple of things are coming up. For those of you who are watching this live, we got another video masterclass with Wampa Otalaro. It's coming up tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, exclusively inside the 7-Figure Circle $1 Million Mastermind. We got a part 2. The video class was so well received that we wanted to offer a part 2 to add even more value and to really get you people support in marketing your businesses using video and social media. I encourage you, if you're not yet join the 7-Figure Circle $1 Million Mastermind, then feel free to hop in there. That's the Facebook group. You can just search for that on Facebook. If you're not yet a member, please hop in there and join so we can support you. There's a ton of great content, a ton of trainings, master classes as well that deal with every aspect of your business and being able to add those pieces of leverage so you can go from a linear business to an exponential business. And that's really what we're all about in 7-Figure Circle $1 Million Mastermind Facebook group. It's absolutely free. No obligation for you to join. Greater content in there that you can consume and be able to implement immediately into your business to be able to grow from that aspect. All right. That being said, appreciate those of you for stopping by for a second, a minute, or even longer. Those of you for watching, commenting on Facebook, LinkedIn. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and following us on all those channels. Follow us on LinkedIn. We'd love to use more followers and be able to support more people. Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube. Please subscribe. We want to continue to create more reach and reach more people out there as well. That being said, I'm out of here. We're done for this Monday whiteboard session. We look forward to seeing you on the next edition. As always, ever forward.